What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype, episode 319. Got some stuff to talk about. There's some controversy that's kind of been solved, but we're going to go through the Superfractors that showed up on eBay, 24 of them from this year's Bowman Draft. Nobody can possibly pull that many within the first week of the release, so we're going to discuss on how those got backdoored and what we think this is for the future and, ideas of how we can stop this. We also have Brock Purdy, clear-cut MVP, is actually a negative on the bet now. You get less money than you bet now. He's that heavily of a favorite. We're going to talk him versus Lamar and look at their cards because 2018 rookie on Lamar and 22 rookie on Purdy. Look at some pricing there. Dude Perfect made a debut on Fanatics Live today. We've got that and more. Man, we just had the Mojobreak holiday party this year. Just this last Friday, there was 40 of us celebrating a great year at Mojobreak, and we want to thank you guys that are listening that help contribute to this great year and allowing us to do this show every week. And, shout out to you guys for, keeping this thing going and enjoying this hobby just like we do. But, it was a fun event. We did Deal or No Deal. Cody was the grand prize winner on the Deal or No Deal. Got a chance to play for $5,000.
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting. I think that was the highlight of the event. That was fun.
A night where I was like, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to relax, could win some stuff. And then when you actually are the grand prize winner, there was no relaxing.
No, it was pretty stressful.
It took about an hour for my heart rate to get back to a normal speed. But, hey, it was a blast. We appreciated it, guys. You guys throw a hell of a party, so it was a good time. Hey, and if everyone went to the National, you guys know the type of party Mojobreak throws.
Well, we hosted the Deal or No Deal unscripted, unrehearsed. So that was also like kind of fun at the same time.
Oh, I came in and like trying to be like the bad guy, like it was our money, like we're gonna hold our money.
That's what you have to do.
And then as I was starting to pull like the 5,000, the 4,000, and I'm like, oh god, now it's like he's just going down now for Cody. I'm like, I'm starting to feel bad.
I really thought there was a second, the third, and I think the fourth round. I went, oh man. Okay, I picked two that were like low numbered, and then literally like a ton of bricks fell on my head with the last ones each time. So but it worked out. It was
some 4-digit numbers that were falling off.
A lot of big 4-digit numbers.
I'm gonna give our Mojobreak hype listeners a super exclusive because not too many people I actually told this to at the party, and there was 40 people there. So at the beginning of the game, I think I might have told you at the beginning of the game, I was shouting to Cody to pick number 4. Can we remember which briefcase number 4 had?
Yeah. 4 had the 5,000.
It did have the 5,000, didn't it?
I was screaming. I was like,
did you know that?
4. No.
Why
See, I was like,
know that?
I don't know. Were you here? I don't know. Maybe when you were here when they were being
Nobody knew. Nobody knew whatsoever was in the briefcases. I actually did I put basically the denomination in there.
So Dan was the only one who knew
After everybody left. He was the only one there for about 2 hours.
I was the only one there, and I actually packed it out with nobody in there. Now, I actually packed it out without seeing what I was putting in there.
Oh, wow.
But then I realized when I did it, I actually packed some of them upside down. So I actually did go through and like look real quick and just switch it. Okay. At that point, I did switch them. I actually did not know that. If you would have asked me like which one had the $5,000 in it, I probably wouldn't have been able to say.
Completely blind. Well,
I only said 4 because 4 is like
that's crazy.
Is like my kid's favorite number.
Well, and TJ's favorite number is 4, so he said if he got picked, he would have.
He would have picked 4.
Our shipping manager, TJ. So
now, but the thing
4 of us on the podcast, I should listen.
It's one thing to have that number. I don't know if you have that 5,000, there's still not a guarantee that you're going to go all the way. Right.
It depends on the type of player you are.
Because Cody went.
I would not have been that guy.
Cody went further than I thought we were actually going to go. I didn't think we were going to go that
because
many
if there was
rounds.
4 briefcases left and 5,000 was still left, and let's just say like 1,000, we probably would have offered like 2,000.
I'm the type of guy,
or more, like 3,000.
I'm the type of guy that if I go to Vegas on a 4-day trip, if I night one put $25 in a slot machine and lose everything, go, well, I'm done betting. That's it for the trip.
I'm the type of guy that will keep betting $25 the entire weekend.
Yeah.
So that's why you guys are more built for Vegas than I am.
I'm going all the way. I would have went to the very end of my briefcase. You got to be confident in the number of briefcase that you pick.
I will say that the one I picked was still like, if that were the worst case scenario, it still wasn't bad. I think it was like 900.
900,
It was
yeah.
pretty good.
And you got offered.
Yeah, no,
1,000,
I
so you
remember.
got an
I remember. I
extra
was like,
1,000,
oh, I'm like,
extra.
it basically kind of worked out.
Yeah,
Like,
it worked out.
so
I'm totally So it was a good time.
Yeah, and Dan's brother Shane coordinated the whole event. Shout out to him, I guess. And
Shout out to Shane.
we wanted to do karaoke, as some of you guys know that we're at our party. We did karaoke there, and the guy he brought, I think it was
pre-karaoke.
pre-karaoke. Yeah,
I think he was DJing before karaoke was a thing.
Yeah, his first gig was actually DJing for Benny Goodman back in That's where he goes back to. And the technology was not that much. It was like the first computer basically that's like sent him to the moon. I think.
I'll be honest.
But shout out to him.
That place had it dialed. I mean, they basically had if you were a DJ, I mean, you just had to bring a laptop essentially and a mixer because they already had their speakers. You didn't even have to bring in the speakers.
Yeah, their sound system was actually
like
not
they
bad.
actually had some really good speakers
They were very
set up.
nice.
And the poor guy trying to figure out the floor. I think he's still there trying to figure out the floor.
still-
The floor that
Yep.
was there lit
That-
up.
It was
There
a
was
cool
about, like,
floor.
There was like six squares that didn't light up. and he was
That
fine.
poor
He was trying to
poor
figure it
guy.
out.
I was like
The fact
it's-
that floor even lit up in the first place, I'm like,
Well,
it's enough. Hey, man.
yeah,
I mean, I wish it
mean,
all lit up, but
yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck on that floor. I actually wasn't just one person who was working on it. I saw multiple people taking squares out and running cables into it. And
Yep. And so it turns out we had to actually do karaoke through YouTube. So we had to go up there and type the song. C-Rad was the guinea pig doing some Mariah Carey out there. And the audio was not working for a little bit. So shout out to you for taking the first bullet out there.
Someone had to do it.
Hey man, YouTube karaoke is the wave, man. If you don't got them fake Asian videos or you know what I'm saying, the actual Laserdisc karaoke machines.
That
then,
is the
hey,
way
then
to go.
YouTube is the way to go.
Especially, now you've got like your own little karaoke machines that they've got now where, you just connect your phone.
I
Bluetooth.
still don't know
Nice.
how who got the lyrics up on the screen.
They just had videos. They have,
They
there are
connected the
thousands of
no,
videos.
I mean, but how?
how they actually
yeah,
do
I don't
it?
know.
It
if
was
our-
HDMI and HDMI.
Yeah, luckily that ain't, you plug one thing into another thing and voila.
well,
That's, you say it's easy the way the night went. I understand.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't ideal because you were facing away from the crowd to read the lyrics. Ideally, you want to be facing the crowd and
Sure.
reading the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
It worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to get his tube TV set up to get the lyrics going there. So I don't
roll
know
it.
if,
Basically like the old high school TV that they would have a cart and they'd wheel it in.
Yeah, I don't think
Transistor
I don't think there's a
radios.
computer to a coax link. I don't think that quite works. Maybe red and white. Maybe I don't know.
I got
guy. This poor
karaoke.
guy.
I got karaoke on a VHS tape here.
Yep.
I'm gonna
yeah,
go
we'll
ahead and
fast
put
forward.
it in here.
He's like, all I got are 8 tracks. All I got are 8 tracks karaoke. Sorry.
Got the Matrix.
Well, guys, we're also going.
Hopefully he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, shout out. Hey, whatever. It was.
We didn't have internet. He's
Hey,
not
we made
listening.
it. We made it work. We made it work. So
Yeah, we had fun after a few drinks and stuff. It didn't matter how bad he was. Guys, we're on Fanatics Live. I want to tell you guys about a special $20 off if you've never joined a break on Fanatics Live. We're on there 7 days a week. Use code MojoBreaks20 and that'll get you $20 off on your first break with us on Fanatics Live. So go ahead and get on there. I mean, you can get a team for $20 a lot of the time. So it's like getting a free team. So we're doing the Cup over there. We're doing Bowman Draft. Lots of stuff, which gets me right into new release. We've got the Cup that dropped today, and it is 21-22, the Cup. Right, so it's a couple years late, but we're chasing Cole Caulfield. We're chasing Trevor Zegras. We've got Connor McDavid. We've got Wayne Gretzky cards. We've got the beautiful Upper Deck exquisite designs in there. So
I think I think it's Bobby Orr's rookie season, I believe. And then we're checking Bobby Orr rookies.
yeah. Gordie Howe.
I mean,
second
we're a
year.
couple years.
Gordie Howe
Gordie Howe
RPAs.
RPA. We're a couple years behind. I mean, the era where they were not wearing helmets and the goalies had like the Jason mask. Yeah, we're pulling those RPAs.
yeah, there's some great relics from the Maple Leafs' recent Cup victory.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it's crazy because I think there's only 6 teams that are available.
Yeah,
It's,
It's hell of a.
'cause I think there's only
You got to
there's
get
only-
in while it's
There's
getting
only
good.
6 teams. The original 6.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're keeping notes at home, we still got the one more year of the Cup before we get to the Bedard year. So, but there is Bedard products coming out but there's still also 22-23 products coming out, and then we still have a lot of 23-24 products coming out too. So hopefully if you're into hockey cards, you've got this down and you've already got it figured out. But it is a little confusing. But the cup comes out today as Wednesday. You're probably listening to this on Thursday, so it's been out a day. Flawless Collegiate. Watched a few cases. Not impressed.
Best collegiate product you've ever seen in your life?
No.
Well, I mean, worst?
No, and I know C-Red's got some breaks, but it could be. I mean, I only watched a couple boxes being open, the main hit being
you didn't
Jackson Smith and the Jigba. And
first rounder.
The other main hit being
catcher,
Zay Flowers.
First rounder.
Nice.
2 first rounders.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
What do you want them to put in there?
I say that's the state of Panini football
Now-
in 2023.
Now, granted, I did hear that the case yielded a Johnny Manziel
Diamond card.
diamond card.
Texas A&M, great.
I know, but I think we've passed with the Johnny Manziel hype.
Well, they still
think
put
that-
Tim Tebow in
I think
products, too.
2014.
We have?
2014 is when we basically moved on from Johnny Manziel.
I'll tell you what.
He's a college legend.
National
He's a college
Treasures
legend.
Collegiate Football, Immaculate Collegiate Football. I've been pulling a lot of Johnny footballs. I've been pulling a lot of Tim Tebows.
Yeah, because they can get away with putting him in a college product.
Yeah. Tebow, I could see the longevity play. Like, he's still a guy people like. Like, he's the college legend part. But, yeah, Johnny football,
Yeah,
I
don't
would
know.
say.
I don't know if the shelf
man.
life is as long with him.
My issue is that in a high-end product that is, $1,500 a briefcase, you're getting essentially players who did not pan out in the NFL and we're accepting this. We're like, this is fine.
I guess it's what they've taken away that really is the
Yeah,
sore
Like,
thumb
I mean,
here.
it's one thing to put, like, Peyton Manning in there. It's another thing to put Johnny Manziel. Like, you have a lot of retired greats that had a great NFL career that also went to a college where you
Well,
can
they
use
put
their
that one guy
products.
in there that didn't even play football. That played basketball for the Knicks. What's his name? He was a Heisman winner.
Charlie Ward?
Charlie Ward's in collegiate products. Is that along the same level for you as Johnny Manziel?
Yeah, I mean, out of a $1,500 a box product, I shouldn't be getting a Charlie Ward.
Oh, there's Tim Tebow. He's actually on the sell sheet, so Tim Tebow's live in the product. It looks like with autographs. I'm trying to go over the checklist to see if there is some bright spots. Wow, rookie autograph set checklist only has 15 guys. Richardson, Najigba, Keyshawn Boot, Raishi Rice, Zay Flowers, Tanner McKee, B.J. Olari, Tyjae Spears, Riley Moss, Jaron Halls, Charbonnet, Mims, Tucker, Chase Brown, and Israel Abakanada. That's just the rookie set.
Yeah,
so the patch autos, there's 33 guys. Hendon Hooker, I guess, Jahmyr Gibbs, flawless rookie patch autograph, same thing. So they got 33 rookies in here. Campus Legends, here you go. Doug Flutie auto.
I mean,
Mike Vick. How about a Vince Young? Is Vince Young acceptable?
college legend.
Oh,
These are
well,
college
that's the same
legends
thing as
here.
Johnny
These are
Manziel.
college
I would say,
legends.
I would say Vince Young had a better pro career than
Maybe
Johnny
one
Manziel.
he did. He did.
Slightly better, probably.
Couple years there.
And then then Quinn Ewers is in this set too, so where he's already a campus.
Yeah,
legend.
that's a thing that I'm actually surprised they're not going a little more all in on the
Sam
Quinn Ewers because
Bradford.
they're the only
Love
ones
to
who
see it.
have Panini Quinn Ewers is a Panini exclusive, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
Arch Manning.
And Arch.
I don't see Arch in here.
Not yet. Probably
Ooh, they
next
do
year,
have a
but I'll-
Brock. Oh, wait a second. Oh yeah, dual patch autograph set. There is Brock Purdy in here. There's something to chase right there. Iowa State Cyclones, dual patch autograph of your future
I mean,
MVP.
you complain about Zay Flowers, but he's one of the better rookies on the best team in the NFL right now.
Oh, they do have Arch Manning in here.
They do have Arch Manning.
The fact that there's no Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud
Yeah.
and Will Levis.
It's
just
the
sucks.
same story. yeah.
Wait, I see Caleb Williams on here.
Yeah. So there's some big guys. There's some big
I
college
see
guys.
Hunter Renfro.
Raider Grape.
Hell yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's any
6.5
big
out
vets.
there.
I mean,
Oh.
I love me some.
So,
Hunter
yeah, I'm
Renfro.
assuming
I don't
you
know
can
if I
get-
love Hunter Renfro being in a product 4 years after he was a rookie.
Harrison, Jaden Daniels. I'm assuming these guys are in there, so they got to lean into the college guys for this stuff. And if those guys are there, then it sounds like they're doing that.
Oh man, there's some hidden gems in here. So there's 306 update cards from prior years of Flawless Collegiates, dating back to 2017, where you can pull a dual auto of Gino Torretta and Vinny Testaverde.
Sweet.
It's awesome.
Vinny.
That tells me.
I mean, that's
that,
a top
that,
3 Jets
that
quarterback.
Panini had to scramble a little bit to
Correct.
make enough of this product to justify a release.
The sweepings of the Flawless Collegiate
Would
floor.
you call this the hot dog of flawless releases?
Oh man.
I mean, the
man.
odds are stacked up against them with what they're missing.
No, and this is why exclusive
Yep.
autograph deals are bad for the hobby.
Yeah, if we're comparing flawless to a hot dog, at least make it like a nice, like I don't know, a nice kielbasa or something, you know, or a nice bratwurst.
Doug said the sweepings.
Yeah, true.
A
there
hot
you
dog
go,
is
Dan.
basically all the extra parts.
It is. All right, then maybe
all
a
the extra
nice,
parts
you know,
put
like
into
a nice.
meat. I mean, I'm
Nathan's-
not saying hot dogs are not delicious.
Sure, when it's
They're-
got that, you bite into it, it's got that pop. You know, that's real
yeah,
solid.
I mean, this is. Hey,
Maybe it's that version of a hot dog.
maybe.
Go ahead and check out spots for Flawless Collegiate at mojobreak.com right now. You can get
I'm
your
not
spots.
saying a good Nathan's solid.
Nathan's good.
What's
Nathan's
the
very
worst
good.
hot dog? I mean, what? I mean,
Just like the
I mean,
like a
I-
boiled hot dog that you just like
Oscar
put it
Oscar
together
Mayer.
real-
Like a-
Oscar
like a
Mayer Wiener is. I mean, you know, I was about-
ballpark,
Damn,
a ballpark Frank.
don't remember the song.
Do you-
I don't
what
remember
about
the
a
Oscar
microwave
Mayer
song?
I'm an
song.
You
Oscar
don't
Mayer
microwave?
wiener.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Microwave
wish
hot
I was
dogs?
an Oscar Mayer Wiener.
Yeah, but-
We boil them now.
Yeah, there's wait, is boiling a hot dog not the correct way to
I don't boil my hot dogs. I grill
used
them.
to always boil my hot dogs.
What
I
about
mean,
the microwave?
Yeah, you could do that too.
I'm
Then
pretty
they
sure if you
split
go,
open.
I'm pretty sure if you go to a ball game, you're getting a boiled hot dog.
Yeah.
You probably no. I see those. I
They
see
ain't,
the
dude, they
dogs on the grill.
They are not grilling the hot
Give
dogs.
me no.
They're
I
not-
see
they-
those dogs on the grill.
Maybe at a specialty grill.
Give me
but not at like the ballpark cafe
Don't
or
give
whatever.
me an old floppy boiled thing. Give me a nice.
You're getting a
Sausage
boiled
on the
dog
grill,
with
baby.
a steamed bun.
Nah, give me a sausage on the grill. Throw them on the grill.
Let's
Let them
just
sizzle.
let's just say, man, this is the future of Panini football. Regardless of if we want it to happen or not, this is what Panini football is gonna look like for the next year or so until Topps finally takes over, Fanatics takes over the license. And I heard like rumblings of them like signing more future first round quarterbacks and things like that.
Well, Caleb Williams, I think, is signed, so this must be signed prior to his deal.
yeah.
So get your Caleb Williams now while you can.
We're just not gonna be able to chase the guys we want to chase.
But I'm also
in these
confused by
products.
the distribution process
Yes.
because we didn't get any of this product.
Thank you.
And I think
We didn't no, I mean
Yeah.
yes, Doug, you're right. Thank you, distributions process, because you saved us from ourselves. Like, I'm glad we didn't show up to a pallet of this product.
Well,
Somebody has to have it though.
well, no, I don't think so. I'm gonna say you just went over the checklist and
Limited hot dogs?
You guys were saying like they really had to scrap this together. They didn't make a lot of this, and that's
a limited dog.
That's the reason why we probably didn't get much of it either.
I can tell you right now because you get 1 diamond per box. Actually, you get 2. You get 2 diamonds per box. It's not even a patch and a diamond. It's 2 diamonds and an auto patch.
I would say they made at least 1,000 cases, right?
Let's see. So there's 90, and then there's
If it's 1,000 cases, 500 went to backyard.
Oh, I don't think they're ripping this.
No, they know better.
They're not combining this with their buybacks. You don't think?
Yeah, that Vinny Testaverde buyback's gonna hit different.
There is some Brandon Ayuk in here and some Van Jefferson rookies as well. So they also have some Josh Allen
I'm seeing
autos.
some guys in that base set checklist that's confused. Like
45,
Max
51.
Duggan.
Chargers rookie.
I know,
Yeah.
I know, but is that who we needed?
Yeah.
We needed him.
Yeah. Because remember, all these kids.
He might be better than
They
Justin
made
Herbert.
2,295 boxes.
Nah. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah.
So 1,100
Yeah,
cases.
1,100 cases.
Okay.
And there is first off the line too. So that's they were probably made.
I don't think they made first off
Yeah.
line on this
Yeah,
one, dude.
yeah.
Yep.
So
We just-
so safe to say 1,500 cases.
Oh God.
1,500 cases,
R.I.P.
and
R.I.P. to whoever bought the FOTL
we
boxes.
got how much? How many? We get
like 5.
we definitely got under 10 cases. So who's holding?
Oh,
this and
actually,
why?
dude, that might include because there's not a special gem for the flawless. There is just a
So
pink
just
autograph is the only difference.
So just 1,100 total.
So that could be part of the first off. There could be actually less distributed to the hobby too. Maybe only 800 or 900 cases.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
that makes sense.
I mean, but that's all they. I mean, look what they did. Talk about the hot dog. They sweeped it up to make the product. So, I mean, but this is one of those things.
limited hot dogs.
Can we just start putting like the good ones in the regular flawless then, even if it's collegiate? Just take the Peyton Manning and throw them in a regular flawless. Like not even do this
Are
product
you
now.
No,
Could,
Panini
could
has
we
to do
could
them,
we
though.
say that I don't know if first off the line was necessary,
Right.
for this?
Yeah.
Could we have just like taken the inventory and just made a little bit more of the regular release?
Yeah. Well,
But whatever. I don't.
we're ending out 2023. We got to be positive. You know, people love college. Maybe they love college more than we do. That's it. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, there's good college prospects out there. There's some talented names, especially entering the draft this year.
At
so.
the very least, those
Jaden Daniels
patches will
getting
be
named.
pretty
Caleb.
cool especially if you're into college.
They're
Flawless
always
always
Bowl
has
patches.
Flawless always has some hella sick patches.
Same can be
so.
said with the cup. So I know it's a year behind, but or a couple.
I
years
like the
behind.
cup. The cup's great. Just it's a couple
yeah.
years behind.
If it was 22, 20, if it was 22, 23, the cup, be like awesome. Can't wait to rip it.
Well, and if you
21,
remember,
21, 22.
that was a hot year with those guys.
It was.
Cider, Zegras. That was a hot year if it
Yeah.
came out during that year.
I know. Well, actually, but while we're talking about that, I did have a conversation with a distributor today, and I was like, we didn't get much of the cup. And I was like, we didn't get much of the cup. I'm like, why am I going to keep on ordering and pre-ordering product that is not performing all that well, that is stacking up? We're getting a lot of it, right? We're holding on to a lot of it, but when the cup comes out, I'm not getting it. He's like, well, you don't want to do that because that's going to affect your cup for the Bedard year. And I'm all, but we're 2 years behind. I'm all, there's going to be 2 more rookie classes.
Wait a
We're
minute,
going to,
2043?
we may have, by the time that cup comes out, we may have had 2 more rookie classes. So Bedard, people might not even be chasing Bedard anymore. So I'm like, why am I going to like worry about allocation of a product that's 2 years in the future?
I bet he didn't have a good answer for you.
We got another case pre-sale.
Yeah, I mean, and we wrap on Upper Deck, and they make great products, but the simple fact that they make dealers that aren't part of the AIR, which is only I think David Adams and maybe somebody else, we can't sell our product online for 6 months. We can only sell it in the shop or break it. It's all we can do.
We can't advertise it.
We can't advertise it, which means nobody's
we
gonna buy it.
We could put it on our website, but we can't allow somebody to check out on the website.
Yeah.
If
So-
there's one thing hype listeners know is our frustration with how the hell Upper Deck lets us sell
I
their
would
products.
I would just love them to say, okay, for 6 months you have to sell it at $145 a box.
Yeah, put a straight map on it and enforce it if you have to. That's fine.
You know what?
But I, doing it the way they do it and making us jump through as many hoops and having so many restrictions on how we break it, and then when the good product comes out, we get screwed and don't even get it from our distributor. I'm like, tell me why I'm playing this game again.
I just need to say this because again in my head I need to say this to understand how ridiculous this sounds. We can't sell 21, 22 the cup online until May of 2024.
Yes.
Just that's
21, 22.
There you go.
In 2024.
there you
Yeah.
go. We all know it's true, but just saying it, you're like,
we can talk
jeez.
about Space Jam. It came
Oh,
out
God.
2 years after
the
the
movie. Yeah.
and we
Same with their Marvel license.
I was gonna say the Spider-Man No Way Home set.
The movie cards come out literally a year or two
yeah,
after the movie comes
that
out.
No Way Home set, which
When
should be a hot
nobody is even
seller.
hype about it anymore,
Like,
dude. Except me, I still buy it.
I mean, the next.
That's like an artist being like, like Taylor Swift has an album come out this year, and then she tours for that album like 4 years later, but she's already had 2 other albums.
Well, that
It's
happened
like,
to a lot of people.
There's
during
no
the-
buzz.
That
I
happened
was
to a
gonna
lot of people
say.
during the pandemic, though. Remember, because like there was music that came out
Yeah.
like right
Well,
before.
see, when you're Taylor Swift, you can get away with that.
True.
When you're
No,
Taylor-
you know what's funny enough? Actually, 100% Taylor Swift can do it. But what's funny is that Backstreet Boys came out with an album in 2019. they couldn't tour until the end of 2021 for that album, and they still sold out.
Well,
I
I don't think they're selling on the
yeah.
strength of their 2019 album release.
I'm just saying the tour was named
Nope.
after that 2019
Nobody's
album.
going to the Backstreet Boy concert and screaming for it. Play the new jams.
And and the cue every time a 2019 track went on, that was the cue to go to the bathroom for a second.
No, nobody went to the bathroom. I
Oh,
went to the
cool!
concert.
Backstreet's back. Is there?
I went to the concert. I was in the front row.
Did they open with
People-
Backstreet's Back? That has to be the
You're
opener,
telling
right?
No, it wasn't.
Nobody
No.
went. Nobody went to the bathroom during.
Nope.
What concert did we go to? We went to.
Stayed the
It was
whole
New
time.
Kids on the Block. New Kids on the Block, Nelly and TLC, and I watched Nelly. Went out to the bar in the concourse with Doug and TJ, and I didn't come back until the end of New Kids on the Block. Wife was not happy, but I was just like, I'm good here.
I'm not a New Kid on the Block guy. They don't have the right stuff.
Or apparently TLC.
Yeah, apparently.
But,
Jeez.
It is what it is.
Well, speaking of the right stuff, Dude Perfect, some people think that they have the right stuff. They've been killing it on YouTube for, God, I feel like I was in my early 20s watching these guys. They've been on there forever doing stunts, cup tricks, trick shots, having celebrity athletes do these trick shots as well. I think one of their top view videos is 500 million views on one of their top videos. Right?
Which is that one?
It was one of the bottle that
bottle
they
flip.
flipped off the trampoline. and it
Oh,
came
that's who
back.
these people are.
Yeah, they do
The
all
one-
trick shots.
I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't know who the F you guys were talking about until just right now.
I think for our age demo, probably the first time you saw these guys was there was something that went viral, late 2000s, early 2010s, where they're on the 50th floor. They're on the roof of a 50-floor building, and they throw a basketball, and it's a perfect
Yes.
swish.
Yes.
And everyone thought that's fake. That can't be real. And then to prove it, they just kept doing more and more of
Is
these
it-
crazy things.
Is it real?
It is real,
Yeah,
but
it
they
might be
also
7,000
or is it
takes.
just edited?
that one shot went viral. But then everyone's like, this is fake.
It probably took them
And then they said, okay, then
one time.
let's show you how it's done. And they showed you we miss a bunch of these. We're not perfect. We're not perfect despite the name. And then they got bigger and bigger.
So
as it went on.
what are
Doing
they
crazy
doing
stuff.
selling? What kind of stunts are they doing with sports cars?
Well, I mean, obviously Fanatics Live, and that's why people are discussing this on X as we speak, and to much chagrin, most of the hobbyists are saying it's a gimmick. But from a Fanatics Live perspective, trying to get new users, you've got a company that has 60 million subscribers or whatever it is. It's a lot coming over to your platform. You're hoping that they bring over some, and they did have the most viewers in a Fanatics Live stream as to date at 1,300 viewers. So that was a lot for Fanatics Live. They were auctioning off some weird stuff. They were auctioning off signed bricks. They were auctioning off signed stuff by them. They had some
Signed
mystery
bricks.
yeah, it went for $400. Then there was mystery boxes. The way they put it together was pretty good. I don't think that the guys that were doing it, which was the main guy, I could tell the guy with the beard is the main guy to me. I don't know what his name is,
Yeah,
but
he's usually the main
he was
Mr. Perfect, dude.
dude, which I do love the name. I say dude a lot every day. But they were auctioning off some mystery boxes that they put together that did have some autographed stuff in it from Dirk, or they had some cowboy stuff. But a lot of the bids were going up and not getting paid, so they had to pivot in the middle of it all. And it was just the course of having a lot of people in the chat.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's good. I mean, getting more people, more eyeballs, these people bringing some in. Do they stay? I don't know. It's probably some kind of sponsorship deal to get more people on Fanatics Live, but that happened today. So.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm telling
I-
you right now, they've gotten our lane. We're going into their lane. I'm going to start shooting a basketball and doing trick shots and kicking footballs. That's what I'm going
Hopefully
to start
got
doing.
days to do it. There's somebody on Instagram. It's some girl in a gym, and she does she bounces the ball and then she'll hit it with a bat, and she'll see how many hours it took. And then she'll have somebody make a hoop, and while the ball's going through the hoop, she hits it with a bat, and then it goes in on the other side, full court on the other side of the hoop. And she actually documents how long it takes. A lot. There's one that was 24 hours.
Can't you
to finally make
can't,
that
I mean,
trick shot.
can't you do it with a green screen?
No, they say that sometimes they'll have people in green.
Yeah,
in
can't
green.
in a green suit behind a
Sure.
green screen, slam
Make 'em
dunk the
invisible?
ball. Yeah, make
Yeah,
that.
but the trajectory of the ball is not going to be correct.
I'm pretty sure with the magic of editing, you can do it.
Sure.
But that's it's just
Yeah,
viral videos.
I don't have any issues with Fanatics bring on anybody to the platform or try to help grow the platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I was just curious what these guys would be doing on there because, obviously it's a whole different. They're not in the hobby. They're not in the sports card market. So, I mean, I actually have no issues with it at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're
I think
it's
I
sports.
mean,
they do the video with sports players. They've had Ryan Tannehill in the videos.
I think it's good to get their fan base, their viewers, like over to that platform. It can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
And it's a younger fan base. Let's be honest. That's who's mostly watching this stuff.
Yeah, but that's the
No,
whole.
I don't know. They've been around for like
They have
20
been.
years.
Yeah.
That's been the issue on X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it now, is that Dude Perfect is bringing in kids.
I don't even think it's kids. I think it's like 20-year-olds.
But they're not though.
No.
Like it's not like the kids who are watching these videos on YouTube are not going to become card collectors generally and start breaking on Fanatics.
Yeah, I think at this point the demo is probably early 20s to early 30s.
But
like
there's
that's who
always,
started watching.
There's
these guys.
always the selling point in this industry is that we got to get more kids involved. We got to get more kids involved, and I agree to that to some extent. But let's face it, Bowman Draft came out. It's $600 a box. How many kids are, if they had $600, they want to buy a box of Bowman Draft? They probably want to spend that $600 on something else, like video games or.
And we talked about it last week. I think kids are just like, again, you're like, I'll just get a couple packs of stuff because like that's enough to scratch the itch when you're a kid. Like I don't know. At least it was when I was a kid.
Their most popular video. Well, this was the second most popular video, but they got more production. This was like 6 years ago. Doing trick shots to all kinds of different scenes, things like that. Stuff like that.
Trick shots. Fun trick shot
Sweet.
stuff. Now they have a
Awesome.
they have a giant like theme park / studio.
They were on tour too.
Yeah.
They did.
How does that work? What do you do?
Potentially could be a very,
guess.
very boring show. 'Cause
Yeah.
What if you don't make anything?
I'm like
What
the
if you try?
only thing that I'm like, is it adjacent to, but it's not the same as like a magic show. But at least magic, you're kind of like, I get it. I get
think
why I'm
what
coming
they're
here.
doing, though, with their live show is that they're performing and they're selling their personality.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They're going up there. They're essentially doing. They're probably
essentially
doing like
like
trick shows, but
podcasts.
they're like, it's like a stand-up routine that
Right.
they're probably doing,
Right.
And people are showing up to hang out and see them perform and see their personalities. Because they're probably trying to do trick shots, but yet there's a chance that they're not going to make anything.
Yeah.
Right?
So I know they're also doing
or actually, they're probably
Is this their live show here?
commentating on a lot of their old videos.
Man,
as
that's
well.
a lot of people there.
That is a lot of people.
That's a lot of people to see like
There.
When you have
fancy
a-
beer
when you have-
pong shots.
When you have a huge following, you can
I mean,
do these type of
They're
things.
doing that. Looks like an arena.
Yeah, I know. I think it came SAP. I
They're
didn't
doing
go,
it.
but
They're doing arena tours.
so yeah. I mean, this is they're on Fanatics Live. So I mean, why wouldn't you if you're Fanatics Live? Why would you not?
Hey, good for them. Is it for me? Not really, but hey, good for them. They got a big following.
That's for the kids.
It's also not like I saw some doom and gloom of like it's been a lot of negativity around this, and maybe that's just magnified when you're on social media.
It's also magnified during the Christmas holiday season.
That
But
too.
I want to know
in this
what,
hobby.
A lot of Grinches.
what is the number
Yeah.
one negative thing that people are saying about this?
Cash grab,
from
unnecessary.
who?
That's
From
what- that's
people-
what I'm saying,
Are people
like-
hating on Fanatics or are people hating on Dude Perfect?
I think
It's like
Fanatics.
is like the Dude Perfect like fan base going, oh, you guys sold out.
No, I mean,
No.
I was watching it live. That was the most positive chat I have ever seen in our time.
So
Besides
it's-
people asking for free
So
stuff.
Sure.
it's the card hobbyist
Mad at Fanatics.
that are mad at Fanatics
It's-
for bringing in Dude Perfect.
It kind of goes in hand with the conversation last week about the Tom Brady ad. Oh my God, it's going mainstream. We've lost sight of what this hobby's all
I
about.
think Twitter X is just the platform is just for people wanting to complain.
Yeah, it is.
Dude,
It
I
is-
mean, but if you-
it probably
if you-
is. It's probably always.
I bet
has
you if
been.
you go back the 3-4 years we've been doing this actual show and even farther for the show we did, I feel like the WBs, the whiny come out the most in December. The weather's bad. You got to buy gifts. You got to go see your family you haven't seen in years. or a year, because it's probably every Christmas you see some of these family members. You're spending a lot more money on gifts. You don't know what to get the gift. You haven't got a gift yet. Like I said, I'm going to say the weather's bad again. It's just negativity that festers.
I get it.
During this time period.
I'm not a big fan.
When it should be the opposite.
I'm not a big,
should be.
Got a lot of Scrooges.
I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, well.
If next year they were like, hey, like we're just gonna skip over December, I'd be like, sign me up.
I like Christmas.
If we're like, if we can just do November twice.
Man.
So you're one of these guys.
I'll
twice.
take. Give me 2 Thanksgivings and let's boot December to the curb. 11 month 11, 11.5.
Can't get behind that.
December's good, man.
Can't do it. Yeah.
What's good about it?
I don't know.
What
There's always a December to remember. There's
what
that too.
literally like happens in December, and don't say Christmas specifically, but what happens where you're just like, man, this is the best.
A bowl season, of course.
College football.
I mean,
Who
did you
cares?
watch the famous Toastery Bowl?
Yeah,
What a finish,
dude. Tostios? What? Isn't there a Tony the Tiger Bowl? There is.
There is.
There is a Tony the Tiger Bowl.
There is. I love how
great.
there's like the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, except it's not Tostitos anymore. It's like Airbnb or something. It's like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never had. I worked retail a lot
That's
of
what
Christmas
it is.
seasons.
That's
and,
what it
and
is.
I have told my wife, I'm like, I need a good solid 20 years out of retail to maybe appreciate the holiday season.
That you
again.
need that 20 years, and then your heart will grow 3 sizes. Much
Maybe.
like the Grinch. Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while.
All right, well, let's get into the juicy news that I know you guys have probably already heard of. If you haven't, there was some stolen Superfractors. To give you guys a little bit of a backlog, 2023 Bowman Draft. We've been ripping it for a week. Well, there was an eBay account that had 24 base Superfractors, the non-autos, that, statistically is improbable of happening because we've opened up almost 150 cases and we've probably pulled only a few. So if you do the math and this is legit, this guy had to open up 700, 800, 900 cases to get these. So it turns out it was stamped on the wrong side. I believe the Superfractors now are stamped on the front, and these ones were stamped in the back. So somebody alerted. It was spreading over social media. Fanatics actually came out, and Mike Mahan, the CEO of Fanatics, came out and figured out what happened is these were test prints. Whenever they're printing a new film or a new parallel, they print out a test sheet to see how it looks. This one was one that was rejected, but instead of being shredded or destroyed, it got in the hands of a person that was able to monetize this. So with doing some more research, turns out this person also has sold some Panini cards, a lot of low-number Panini cards, even dating back to selling some Upper Deck cards. So GCI is the printer that is now owned by Fanatics that does print Topps and Panini cards.
And according to their website, Upper Deck.
And Upper Deck contracted. I don't think for every single
Not
Upper
for
Deck.
every release, but this seller did have some Upper Deck stuff that they had sold.
That's how he got it.
So, nobody knows exactly who it is. The eBay account is DFW Cards, which DFW is Dallas Fort Worth. I mean, you almost can't even write it up. I think this person wanted to get caught. Listing 24 Superfractors at once. I mean, you might have been able to get away by listing 1 or 2 at a time and kind of trickling them out into the market, maybe been able to survive for a little while before getting caught.
Hey, man,
full
most
bore.
criminals ain't too smart, man.
Yeah, I mean, is it that? Is it like, did they want to get caught, or are they just an idiot?
Why?
Maybe just an idiot.
I don't know why you would run to eBay where there's going to be a pretty substantial paper trail that can go back to you with the amount of card shows there are in the country and in that area. That area, like, why would you not?
Yeah, but then you have a face to the crime.
Yeah, but I'm speculating. I don't think there is one person involved in here. I don't think it's just Dallas Fort Worth cards.
Yes.
I think there is a handful of people involved. And I think this person right here probably doesn't even really know how these cards were acquired. Just that
Could be a consigner.
Yeah, just that they're like, here's cards. Can you sell these cards for me? Sounds great. I'll give you, 20% of what they sell for.
Yeah, so unlike the first scandal of Bowman Chrome, where there was 2 actual Superfractors that were printed that wound up in the print run, these never were in the run, so it doesn't really affect the product because they're luckily stamped in the wrong spot. I don't know if that was intentional or if that was dumb, because if they were stamped in the same spot, then we would have more of a hard time figuring out what was what. But Mike Mahan has promised that every single collector who purchased a stolen card from DFW will be reimbursed by Fanatics, and the company will take stringent efforts to keep this from happening again. So that's where we're at with that, and I mean, it sucks because if you read their somebody else also put the reviews of this company on Twitter, and it was a lot of temp employees, all kinds of.
Some people saying specifically that there's illegal activity that happens at that workplace, which it looks like we're seeing it here.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, with that extra info, like, yeah, it makes it look even worse. But like, they've had some issues for a minute now. Somebody walking out with stuff out that warehouse every day or something. You know what I mean?
was gonna say that, like, to be critical of, I mean, Fanatics has had a pretty tough year, right? There's been, I mean, we all knew that there was going to be growing pains. There was going to be working out new processes, and not everything is going to work out perfectly, but it's been pretty consistent. Again, I think they're handling everything correctly. I'll give them that, but we need to have a release or two where we're not going back to the drawing board and being like, what happened here and how can we fix this?
Well, and I think it's to your point, they have gotten into this business not knowing the ins and outs in this business, and they're finding out the hard way. They're making mistakes the hard way, which hopefully will, lessen this from happening in the future. I mean, there's got to be cameras in this place, these places. There is $1 million cards that are produced in these places. So, I mean, you think you would have some kind of accountability. I'm sure they know who did it and who stole it. But, I mean, as simple as making sure that each one of these test fractors are shredded or burned.
I'm concerned that there's no security footage. Because if somebody's walking out with these, they're pretty confident that they're not going to get caught.
Well, they're probably handling. I mean, there might be. They're probably handling it internally. I don't think the public will ever find out or ever see.
But there's $1 million cards coming in and out of this place. Somebody goes into work, they should be checked in. They should be basically checked out. I mean, security would be the number one thing that I would put in place before printing and packing up cards.
And I mean, on this specific theft case too, I think there's 24. I don't know if he has more. I don't know how many on a sheet. I think there's 90 on a sheet.
But I also think this has been going on this is not an isolated incident. This is not the first time he's done
What
this.
I was going to say is there's a lot of steps to make this happen. So you've got to take the sheet. I don't think he's going home cutting it. So I think he had to take the sheet, stamp it at one place. I've never been there, so I can't be 100% sure, but I've seen some processes. I think the printing is one step, the stamping is another step, and then the cutting is another step. So there's 3 different machines involved in this, right? So he would have had to have gotten the sheet, and then, and maybe people around him are just thinking it's just regular part of the set, and maybe nobody's raising a blind eye, but whoever's doing this had to probably cut them on site. I don't think he's taking them home and using his scissors or cutting it with a chopping block.
I think you're right. But that means that this is just going about and nobody is questioning, why is this person doing it? Or is it the fact that people are just I don't really care. I don't really care what this person's doing.
Well, I mean, if I've seen videos, there's a 2010 video floating around from Panini, which is GCI, and I think it's Gridiron, and it shows the sheets getting cut, and then the card. I think these are base cards, and then they show up an assembly line of people putting them in stacks, and then looking at them real quick and putting them back, and then they go back in the assembly line, and then it shows the boxes, and then the shrink wrap is done with the heat and everything like that. You got to imagine that these people probably have AirPods in, and it's such a mindless job that they're probably not even. They're like,
man.
Are you looking around to say is John taking an uncut sheet? I mean, you're probably not, right? You're probably doing.
I think it was 2018. You didn't go to this summit, but the summit was in Dallas.
I know they were taking people to the printing facility,
and they were
right?
taking people to the printing facility on tours. And in my mind at that point, we didn't have like big issues like this. I'm like, I don't want to go to that tour. There had to be people who are still in the industry that went on that tour.
Right.
I mean, granted, they wouldn't be able to take like video footage or anything like that, but
Can explain like
they might be able to explain.
Well, like let me just say this too, and we Fanatics has been dealing with these issues. We've been bringing them up. The community has been bringing up. The hobby's been bringing them up, pointing them out. Let's not also forget that this guy that got caught here, because I was gonna pose the questions like, was this happening before Fanatics? And it clearly was, because he had Panini cards, he had Upper Deck cards.
Yep.
So this is obviously an issue that Fanatics has to deal with now, because they are exposing the hobby to more people every single day. The marketing has been great, like we always talk about, but this is an issue that's been there already.
Well, and also, I mean, if you're acquiring a business and there's already a workforce put into place, you're not interviewing these people. You haven't dealt with them as a new company. You're probably like, all right, they've worked here for 10 years. They're probably, we're not going to get rid of all the staff and start over, right? So now they're probably figuring out
This is not
some of their bad
This is not
seeds.
the first time that we've seen test cards get put into the market and yet backdoored out of a printing
100%.
facility.
Yeah,
I mean, it happened. Man, I want to say it was like Sterling, like Bowman Sterling?
It was Bowman Platinum, I believe.
It was Bowman Platinum, and the autograph ones were actually the sheet that was not autographed, and then people were forging autographs.
Yep, there was a Mike Trout.
There was a Mike Trout that had an autograph, and it said certified autograph on it.
Jeez.
So it was a test proof, but for the autograph version, and those were circulating on eBay. I actually think it's connected to what is going on here. I think it's the same group or same ring of people who've been doing it. I mean,
Jeez.
I think it's the
So
same
you're talking
people.
almost 15,
I'm
14, 15
saying
years.
it. I'm saying this has been going on for well over a decade, and there's no doubt that a manufacturer is going to print up multiple cards for like pack damage, replacements. Something happens and they need to get out a replacement for a card. Where do those cards go? And how long do they hold on to them is the question.
I feel like if it has been going on that long and it's gone under our nose for this long, and also we have to think about like how did this like get to this point where it's gotten this out of control? Like, it leads me to believe that it's somebody. Again, this is pure speculation. I don't know that somebody who's not like at the way top, but clearly someone who has maybe some authority.
It's mid-tier. It's mid-tier. It's mid-tier for sure.
Someone who maybe
it
has
could be
authority
multiple.
of the person on the floor that's packing all this stuff, that someone who is packing it wouldn't really think twice. They'd be like, "Yeah, you are my superior.
Yep,
Why?" I'm not gonna question it.
I think without a doubt. I think it. If I again,
It definitely ain't the
I'm
champ
speculating.
market.
I don't think it is one isolated person who's doing all of this. I think there is multiple people involved.
It's a group
I think it
effort.
has been going on for a decade. I think the same people have probably been involved, and I mean, I don't know.
Money talks.
This could also be a situation where we're like, is he an idiot? He's an idiot, but it could be a situation, man, because you look at the economy and all this stuff. They probably were just like, they're like, they see like they just needed to push them out. They need to, let's get rid of all these right away.
I also don't think the person who is selling them directly on eBay is the person who is physically taking the cards. From
I
the
mean, if it
printing
took
facility.
us this long to notice,
They're desperate.
and again, this was a big oh my god, all of them posted at the same time. You're making it so obvious, but the fact is, if we're uncovering more and more. And by the way, before we forget, shout out to Mario Alejandro on Twitter, who is the big one of the big guys on top of all this, putting out there information he was finding. So shout out to him for
at baseball
doing
blog.
doing a
At
big
baseball card blog.
big part of the uncovering of what was going on, digging deeper into this. You would think, is it one person screwed up on that chain suddenly here at the end where it's like, crap, now we've all been revealed?
Well, I was just thinking about like another industry that would be similar, right? Because you're obviously you work at an Apple factory and its phone is the same phone as the same phone as the same phone as the same iPod. I was thinking, what is like? I don't want to intertwine this with gambling because I'm not trying to go there, but like, wherever the lottery tickets are printed, the scratchers, right? They have to have some kind of tight security, right? Because the guy could be like, "There's the $20,000 on that roll. I'm just going to grab that off."
I mean, the most obvious one I can think of, and it's not
the McDonald's.
Exactly. It's not a direct correlation, but it's pretty close. Where they
the
knew
printer was
exactly.
involved. Yep.
Right. Well, and it wasn't that somebody near the top, but
And
not
they made,
right at the top
and
knew
they
exactly
made
where they were
a
going.
documentary on that.
It's really good,
documentary.
actually.
Can we be
We're next.
5 to 10 years away from a doc? Because again, we know that this has been an issue for a decade. Not connecting these people, like this whole thing together. Not saying it like the same people exactly, but backdooring test proofs has been a thing probably even before Doug and I were doing Mojobreak. But I do remember there being a big deal about cards hitting the market, hitting eBay that had the certified autograph that were test proofs that were being autographed.
We don't even know about they make multiple versions of every single insert or bigger card. So they could make up to 100 kabooms of the actual player, and those are not numbered. There's no way to track those. So if those get out in the market in the wrong hands, somebody takes them from the redemption facility. Oh, there's 100. Now there's going to be 80. I don't think there's going to be that many replacements. There could be that going on too. I'm not saying there is, but like those are even harder to track. I mean, this guy had one-on-ones, so you could compare them to the other one-on-ones, and that's how we were able to figure it out. But think about all the non-numbered stuff.
Yeah,
that could be.
And Panini has some pretty high dollar non-numbered short prints that people go crazy over. Kabooms, Downtowns, Color Wheel. I mean, all of them. Like, what if, like Doug is saying, what if there's like 100 extra that are for replacements that are held somewhere, and those end up, some of those getting put into the market?
You'd never know.
You'd never know. But we're not talking like a couple $100. We're talking like 6 figures worth of cards, depending on the player.
Right.
That McDonald's story, by the way, I was saying, someone at the top. Wasn't it like a guy who knows a guy? Isn't that how that all went down?
He put it in the magazine that went into like an Albertsons or something.
Yes.
And told his friend to go
That's
get that.
what it was. That's what it was. The guy
He
who had
said,
the intel.
go on Tuesday. They're getting their shipment.
That's right.
Buy them all up because it's going to be in one of them.
So it would not be all that shocking if it was simply this guy is orchestrating something of like, hey, I'm I know a guy, or like, I don't know. Well, who knows? Well, I guess we'll find out in the documentary coming to HBO Max in 5 years.
I mean,
2055.
Now, I don't think there's been that many eyeballs on this situation as there are right now.
No,
like when we were covering this a long time ago, handful of pockets in the industry would even talk about it, and we would get like, oh, well, backdooring at a printing facility has been going on since like the 80s, since 89. Like Upper Deck Ken Griffey Juniors were getting, there's always a speculation.
Well, people
that
have uncut sheets on their walls.
Yeah.
So where did those come from? They never got cut, right? So, I mean, I know Upper Deck does sometimes. They'll have like in the cup, you get an uncut sheet, stuff like that. They do that kind of stuff. All right, guys, there's a big game this Monday night, Christmas. Some of you guys are going to be unwrapping presents. I'm going to be at the 49er game watching the Ravens lose to the 49ers. But what happens is there's a big question. Is Brock Purdy more collectible than Lamar Jackson? Or is Lamar Jackson more collectible than Brock Purdy? I think the argument could be made either way. MVP is already for Lamar. Purdy's going to win the MVP this year. Who are you guys collecting? I want to see in the comments below, and if you're listening to the podcast, comment on our social media. Which player are you collecting and why? Dan, we know your answer.
Not
Lamar
Brock
Jackson.
Purdy.
Why?
Anybody, because you know how I feel about the Niners.
Take away your fandom.
I can't. There is not a professional franchise that I dislike more than the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
Straight up.
All right. I was just giving praise to the Rams, how great Ernest Jones is.
Hey, I appreciate that, but I can't. I can't.
He's just punching up, He's just punching up. Brock Purdy's last Prism PSA.
I do know the Niners are a better team with Lamar Jackson on their team as their quarterback.
No.
That is ridiculous to. It drives me crazy. Like, is there anybody Anybody in the league that if you put on the 49ers would be better than Brock Purdy.
You're saying
like Patrick Mahomes is like now a 49er on that team. You would be like, nah, I'm sticking with Brock.
maybe Patrick Mahomes is the only exception.
Maybe
only exception.
I mean, like that. That is the reason. That's the reason I just can't do the Niners. It's just unrealistic.
Well, the value proposition here too, MVP, most invaluable contract, I guess, or lack of a better term there. He's getting paid $860,000. If we had Mahomes, he'd be $40 million.
This is the last year he is getting
Okay,
paid.
well, he's not going to get Mahomes money.
He shouldn't.
Yeah.
He should not.
So
he doesn't have what Patrick Mahomes has.
Well, he'll have one Super Bowl this year and two
Man,
MVP and possibly a Super Bowl MVP.
You just curse the Niners.
I've already called it out all year, guys. You guys have been laughing at me all year, and now what I said, and I did the bet, the 30-1 on Brock Purdy for the MVP. He is the odds-on favorite. Nobody's even close. So
No.
This the whole way.
To say nobody is even close is also a crazy statement. There's other people who are close. He's actually not even the most valuable player on his team, let alone the most valuable player in the league. Christian McCaffrey makes that team run. Without Christian McCaffrey, I don't know if you guys are the number one seed. You guys are running with Elijah Mitchell at running back, who is a good running back and a good backup running back, but not a dynamic player that Christian McCaffrey is.
So
this is a quarterback award.
Brock Purdy is negative 200, and Lamar Jackson is second at plus 450. So it's not even close. It's not even close.
If the Ravens beat the Niners, there's a good chance that completely
It probably flips. It almost certainly flips. Yes.
No, I don't think so.
I think
Lamar doesn't have
the
stats. He doesn't have the stats.
What is it actually? Well, so would you prefer a Super Bowl championship or a Brock Purdy MVP?
Oh, a Super Bowl championship.
Okay,
But
so
I'm
then what does it even matter?
The facts are is we got a guy that's going to be the MVP this year.
as of right now.
Well, there's only 3 games to go.
As of right
he's
now,
gonna have to get hurt.
Again,
or throw 5 picks.
It is one of the most interesting MVP conversations. I think this, and I know I felt this way. I have been hesitant to crown Brock Purdy for a long time. I have been because I can't knock the whole Mr. Irrelevant out of my head. I can't. It's hard. He was the last pick of the draft. You wonder why everybody passed on him. So. How is this happening? Why is this happening? But it is happening.
I wake up every morning.
Why is this happening?
Every morning, and I'm like, why is this happening? Every morning, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
But
why?
It is happening.
Lamar Jackson, 15th in
real.
yards, by the way.
Sure.
15th.
But you're not counting the running stats, what he does in the back. That plays a huge factor as well. He's such a dynamic all-around player that you can't discount that. But
now this is voted on based on your regular season.
Yes,
stat.
it
does like
playoffs don't matter.
Playoffs don't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Even though they do announce this like right
the
before
day
the Super
before
Bowl.
the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Because that's also.
Does it get announced right before the Super Bowl?
Yes.
It's
yeah.
They have that NFL
Oh, they have the
award
event,
like
honors,
a couple nights before.
The honors, I believe. I want to say is it Saturday? The Saturday before
They
the
at least
Super Bowl?
broadcast it on Saturday. I don't know if it happens
yeah.
that Saturday, but they broadcast
But I'm
it.
assuming in Vegas.
Yes. Wherever the Super Bowl is, that's where they have the honors.
So to compare prices, we've got Brock Purdy Gem 10 PSA base rookie Prism, last sold for $215. A 2018 Lamar Jackson, same variety Gem 10, sold for $245. So Lamar's got the lead on that. But if you look at NT, it's a different story. NT BGS 9 with a 10 autograph, 53 out of 99, so number to 99. For Purdy, 14,000. The same variety of Lamar 2018 National Treasure sold for $12,000.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so here's the issue. Lamar Jackson was a rookie photo shoot guy, and he was in every single product.
yeah.
He had RPAs, rookie patch autos. I know this is NT, but in every single product. So you can choose whatever product you want. There's so many more
Brock Purdy was
options.
in 70% of the products.
No, he not definitely. I would not say as many rookie patch autos.
True.
So I think these numbers are skewed based on the fact
scarcity.
that you could choose a lot more rookie patch autos that Lamar Jackson has than you could Brock Purdy.
So, yeah, guys, we're going to be running a Instagram contest as well to guess the amount of offensive yards. So check that out and get in on that as well. But we'll let you guys decide. It's going to be the biggest game. Can't remember. There have been 2 11-3 teams facing off
This
each
deep
other.
in the season, the top team from each conference facing each other, I would need to look it up.
The game of the week.
Come on. Now.
Thursday night.
Come on.
Saints Rams.
Well,
I mean, playing
that's
for their playoff lives, both teams. It's basically a win or go home.
Objectively speaking,
what do you guys? I mean, both those teams are both going to be the first seed.
Even
honestly, even if the Niners lose or even if the Ravens lose, I think they're both the odds-on favorite to get the first seed in their conference.
This is the conversation of who is the best team here.
You have the best teams. You have the top 2 guys in the MVP, but the top 3 guys really in the MVP conversation, all playing on Monday night, on Christmas night.
Actually, well, Dak is somehow higher than McCaffrey.
Yeah, if you ask me, it's still look. And I agree with Dan. I put out a video earlier this week. I am on team Christian McCaffrey for MVP. I have been for a long time, but I'm also not gonna be mad if Brock Purdy wins the MVP.
This is how funny the season's gone as for Brock Purdy. Oh, he doesn't deserve to be here. He's a system quarterback. Well, maybe Trey Lance should start. Mm-hmm. We miss Jimmy Garoppolo. He's probably better. His arm's not going to heal. Then it got into, we won 5 games. Oh, okay. Well, it's because of the system. It's because of Kyle Shanahan. I think Sam Darnold would just be just as good. And now he's the odds-on favorite to the MVP, and we're like, well, I don't think he's the best player on his team now. It's like nobody can literally say that this guy is the best player in the league right now. It's like we have to make excuses because he was the last pick in the draft.
He isn't the best player on his team.
He is clearly the best player on his team.
Christian McCaffrey is more important to the Niners' success than Brock Purdy is.
I don't agree. I don't agree. Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo and look at the stats between.
I am a CMC for MVP guy, but I am also a Brock lever now. I am. I like it. I can't question it anymore. We have more than a season of film and track record to now judge.
I remember even you were like, he only played 9 games last year. There wasn't a lot of tape. Everybody's going to be able to adjust on him, and they're going to figure out his tendencies.
We have
he lost 3 games in a row this year.
Sure.
It was if they would have lost that Jacksonville game, and it would have been 4 games, I think there would have been conversation that Sam Darnold would have been the quarterback of your San Francisco 49ers.
Don't forget he led a drive to win that game against the Browns, but our kicker missed it.
You say that like that Jacksonville game was hanging in the balance. That was a blowout.
No. But that was going 3 games. 3-game loss.
Sure.
You lose that game against Jacksonville. You guys showed up and destroyed Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville's actually recovered after that.
No,
they don't. They don't look like the same team
and
that they are.
The Eagles.
No, the Eagles.
But I'm saying if Brock Purdy does lose that game, I don't know if he is the quarterback. They may have made a switch,
but they didn't.
But they didn't.
And here we are.
But you know,
only has he not been. Not only are we not having any questions, he has exceeded expectations in the last few weeks. So,
I mean, he's about a 70% completion rate.
He's the guy. It's all there. So you can't deny it anymore.
So in a football season, you gotta every team needs to obviously perform, but you obviously need to get a little lucky here.
Sure.
Right. The Niners have been fortunate. They really have not had that many injuries. They don't have any of their main guys who have been out for
Debo and Trent for those 3 games that we lost.
Yes, and that it was glaringly obvious.
3 games is a lot different than losing your quarterback for a full season.
Sure.
You can ask the Browns. The Browns would probably enjoy having Deshaun Watson out there and not Joe Flacco.
Right.
Browning is not what the Bengals wanted.
But you're not even mentioning is the fact that Brock Purdy was our 3rd guy last year. We went through Trey Lance and Garoppolo to get to Brock Purdy.
Which it proves my point that with Shanahan's offense, I don't know if it really is Brock Purdy or if it is Shanahan.
I don't think Jimmy's doing what we're seeing right now. And frankly,
Jimmy
we
Garoppolo,
know for a fact.
If I'm not mistaken.
We saw it. He's not. He was not capable of
Jimmy
this.
Garoppolo brought the Niners to 1 Super Bowl
Yes.
and 2 NFC championship games.
Sure. With an amazing defense and an amazing cast around him, but there needed to
But-
be that extra
but-
thing
but-
to take them
but
over
I
the
guess-
hump. And
I
look
guess
who
now- I
showed
guess
up
now
on
if-
his horse,
if-
ready to take
if
this
it
team to
was-
the promised
If it was
land.
Brock Purdy in that situation, the Niners win a Super Bowl and go to another one.
Yeah,
But was
Because-
Jimmy even close to sniffing in the MVP conversation? Never. Not once at that time. Never. He wasn't even in the top 20.
Because I think Shanahan understands his skill set and was basically.
and doesn't that say something about where he is with Brock? He
I
lets
mean-
him off the leash a little bit. Say, have at it, buddy. You can do it. I trust you. Right? Just saying.
Whatever you guys gotta.
I pray-
You guys have more work to do.
We do.
Of course.
Over.
Of
It's-
course they
it's-
do.
I mean, don't start crowning yourself champions at week 15. It's not. There's a lot more work to be done.
There's a lot of work to be done, and
There
we'll
is.
have to see. You guys jump in on these breaks.
I hate football.
I don't want to see the Rams in the playoffs, but at the same time,
We're not winning.
I would love to see the Rams in the playoffs.
We
just
are
for the
not
camaraderie-
winning. We're
for the
not
game.
winning. We're not winning the championship. I'll tell you right now. The Rams, if they do get into the playoffs, so they
You guys have won 4 out of the last
potentially
5. That's a hot
potentially
team.
will knock off a top seed. What's going to happen? This is what's going to happen. Rams are going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the Niners' path to the Super Bowl easier because they're going to knock off the Eagles.
But then
Thank
we
you.
play you guys next game.
Well, you don't. It depends on what the seeds are.
Sure.
Yeah.
But we are going to we're going to hook you guys up. We're going to beat one of the top seeds, and we're going to get knocked out in the second round. We're going to make the path to the Super Bowl easier for the Niners.
Well, we appreciate it. It's
Yeah,
the
I mean, that's what
the
we
least
do.
you could
Teamwork
do
makes the
after
dream work.
taking us out the way on the way to yours.
Or we end up going against you guys in the first round. We beat you guys.
Oh, God, that would be
Jesus.
And then
Nightmare. We'll
Brock
never
Purdy
hear the end of
wants $80 million next year. And you guys basically have to cut everybody on your team. And you guys have to do a full rebuild like the Rams did this year. And we're competitive.
Yeah, but your quarterback
We were
is 39.
the Rams were supposed to win 4 games this year max. And they are.
That was always insane to me. I know they had a lot of missing parts, but that was always an insane prediction
Okay,
to me.
besides the guy that Doug named, and now he's becoming a household name. Besides Aaron Donald, can you name a defensive
No.
player on the Rams
No,
team?
I can't.
No, you can't.
I
no,
can't.
Yeah,
Kobe Durant.
Kobe Durant.
Week
Who-
1, I was not. You're not. I can't name
Who
him.
do-
Week 1, no
Who
way.
does
The only reason I know him is because of his name.
does not really play.
He's a special teams guy.
He's back up. But yeah, I mean, Akilo Witherspoon, Niner, great.
I do remember him. Yeah.
He is balling out. Thank you for letting him go. He's a
Could
stud.
afford him.
You
Could afford him.
you guys could use him because I actually think the Niners' weak spot on their defense is still their secondary.
I think Charvarius Ward proved that last week. I think he got there's 2 picks. I think he's looking pretty good. out
11-3.
there.
And he's one guy.
11-3.
He's one guy.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for today's show. Check out the breaks at mojobreak.com. And if you want to join in on Fanatics Live, once again, that code for first-time buyers is Mojobreaks20. So use that code in on your first purchase. You'll get $20 off. You can buy a $25 team, pay $5 for a $25 team. It's easy. Jump in. Join us on Fanatics Live. Get on these breaks. We're doing more Bowman Draft. We've got Prism around the corner. I believe we're already pre-selling Prism football for you football fans on the website at mojobreak.com as well. And we'll see you guys next week on The Hype. Peace.